The Arizona Cardinals absolutely shit the bed on Monday as they lost to their division rival Rams 34-11 in the wild card round playoffs. In fact, their performance was so embarrassing that we saw major finger pointing this week. People asking if Kliff Kingsbury, the coach who couldn't win in the Big 12, was it his fault? Kyler Murray, is he to blame? Or are the Rams just that good? And as with most NFL blowouts, the answer is, of course, yes. But the Cardinals falling off a cliff with a K in the second half of the season is nothing new. In 2020, the team started 6-3, only to lose 5 of their final 7 games and then miss the playoffs. And then this year, the team went from holding the 1 seed in the NFC to losing 5 of their final 6 games, including this one here, and including getting slaughtered by the Detroit Lions, who hold the number 2 pick in this draft. So what did we learn about the Cardinals from this wildcard performance? Well, let's take a look. As I went back and watched this team, I wanted to focus on the offense, as this is the face of the team. Supposed to have this offensive-minded head coach in Kliff Kingsbury, and of course your quarterback, MVP candidate, former number 1 overall pick, Kyler Murray. But make no mistake about it, the Cardinals were steamrolled in this game defensively, lacking physicality and pass rush. The offense does not deserve full blame for this loss, but I do find their lack of success in this game a bigger concern for the future of this organization, hence why I wanted to take a look at the offensive side of the ball from this game. And from the very get-go, I noticed something that became a total theme and an identity for this team that carried on throughout the rest of this game, and it is not an identity that you want to have as a football team. Then the tough reality for the Cardinals is that they are soft, stupid, and scared. And I'll try not to use those 3 words too many times here, but I'm serious. Those 3 adjectives can firmly describe who the Cardinals are and why they lost this game. And from the very outset, this was evident. In fact, on the first 2 plays of this game, the Cardinals showed how soft they were, getting stuffed on a run with no push. Then on second down, Kliff Kingsbury dials up a scared, conservative screen call where they also showed to be soft. You get a lousy lead block by the left guard who can't latch on to Leonard Floyd, and they're throwing it to their backup tight end, perhaps a stupid play call there. This leaves the Cardinals offense in 3rd and long. Then on 3rd down, Kyler Murray ends up taking a deep shot, one-on-one on the outside. He sees single high coverage, and it's not necessarily a bad play. It's just not a super high percentage play. It's not a bad ball here to AJ Green. Maybe could have been caught. But the problem here is that Kyler didn't even consider looking at the 3 receiver side of the play where there was a hole in that zone for an easy first down on the check down. So while this isn't necessarily a bad play by Kyler Murray, it sure as hell isn't a good play or a particularly smart play. So right from the get-go, you have the blocking, soft, the play calling, scared. And to me, playing scared in the playoffs as underdogs is by nature stupid. And these 3 S words resume immediately on the next drive, where on first down, Kliff dials up a conservative QB draw. And on this one, Kyler embodies that soft and scared and borderline stupid mentality, as opposed to just pushing the A-gap where this run is designed to go. He gets scared of Aaron Donald, who's kind of half blocked here, and instead of forcing Donald to make an arm tackle, Kyler makes the decision to bounce this thing outside, where he's immediately tracked down for a loss. Then on second down, with the goal line breathing down his neck, Kyler is officially flustered at this point. He just really didn't seem ready for a playoff environment here, as he's kind of panicking here. He makes the wrong decisions. He gets a quarters coverage here, and he had the underneath hitch wide open on the far back side of this play. But then on 3rd down, Kyler's Teletubby offensive line gets soft. He's flushed from the pocket, and Kyler actually makes a decent attempt at a big play here, but Christian Kirk and Rondale Moore, they just can't really determine who should track this ball down, and it hits the turf, resulting in another punt. I don't really know where to assign blame here, but someone could have laid out for this ball. Someone could have had the smarts to go after this thing, but we get another punt here. And things don't get any better on the next possession. The offensive line, again, soft, gets no push on first down. It leaves the Cards in 2nd and long. Kliff then dials up the most basic-ass play-action pass in anybody's playbook. concepts that this Rams defense literally sees 2,000 times a week against the Sean McVay offense. Of course, the Rams defensive coverage dunks on this concept. They communicate it. They pass off the deep cross and the flag route. Von Miller then beats DJ Humphries, and Kyler is sacked from his blind side. Then on third down and forever, the stupidity continues. You can't even make this stuff up at this point. They dial up a trick double pass. Actually not a bad play call here, but the stupidity here shows up in the execution and the coaching, because the first pass here is a forward pass, making it 2 forward passes on the play. It gets called back for an illegal forward pass, and of course they punt again. Our next and fourth drive of the evening here is then literally murdered by Kyler's Teletubby offensive line once again. He's pressured immediately on 2 plays. He has nowhere to go with the football, and it kills the drive. Drive number 5 is then started in what I call the nightmare zone, backed up on their own 2-yard line after beautiful execution on a Rams punt. You could also criticize Christian Kirk on this one for potentially a soft and stupid decision to not go after this ball and fair catch this thing. We saw him earlier not able to track that deep ball. Either way, I don't know if you fully assign Christian Kirk blame there or not, but something was off for me on that punt return. They get backed up on their own 2-yard line. And on second down, Kyler actually drops a freaking dime down the sideline here that should be caught. This play could have been the confidence booster that Kyler and his offense needed. However, for the second time now, AJ Green can't come down with a tough catch. Although this time it's much easier. I don't even know if you could say this is a tough catch. And you could debate all you want the calls by the refs here. They reviewed this thing forever, deemed it wasn't a catch, but reality is AJ Green is soft here. He needs to toughen up, make this catch, and absorb the contact. No other way about it. And this turns into a total turning point. A game that was already spiraling out of control for the Cardinals turns into a total avalanche as early as the next play here, as Kyler makes easily his worst play of the game on this next play. And we all saw this. Simply put, this is not championship football by Kyler Murray. Throws a pick 6 here. Total Carson Wentz impression is he just lobs it up in desperation, obviously in frustration of what's happened to this point. But for one, earlier on in the play, he needs to process this zone coverage much quicker. He has the flat here. There's a hole that pops open here from this route combination. He needs to get this ball out knowing that he's backed up in his own red zone. So we already have poor processing earlier on in the play, but then it's compounded by a moronic decision as Kyler just floats this thing out there, leaving out there for the defense to score a touchdown. There's been plenty of blame to go around in this one to this point. I understand Kyler's extremely frustrated at this point, but as I said, this just isn't championship caliber football. It doesn't take a football analyst to know that an elite quarterback just does not do this right here. You need to just take the safety and move on, or hit the flat in the first place. But now it's the second quarter. Team's down 21-0, but it's really not over yet, and a tough team would show some perseverance here. But unfortunately, as we've learned by now, this team is soft, stupid, and scared. And while Rondale Moore might not be scared, he sure as hell does make one stupid decision here to take this ball out of the end zone, leaving the Cardinals set up on the 13-yard line for their next drive. And Kliff actually right away dials up a nice screenplay that may have sprung a huge gain. That is, of course, if James Conner understood the value of his blocking assignment on this play, and instead of dry humping the safety, leans into him, puts his hands on him, blocks the guy. To me, instilling a blocking mentality in every player and making sure everyone knows to do their job on each play is a culture thing. Read any book about Bill Belichick ever. James Conner is not a wimp. The dude overcame cancer. But surely, he should be blocking with much more effort and technique on this play. I put this one on the coaching and the culture. Like I said, James Conner is no wimp. He has about 25 pounds on this safety here. Just turn on the tape from this game on the other side of the ball, and you'll see what coaching and culture can do for non-lineman tight end blockers. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The Cardinals are just soft, and this could have been a huge gain right here. Now, the Cards actually turn this into a nice drive after that screenplay only gets them 8 as opposed to maybe 30 plus. You get some nice runs, nice throw from Kyler. But just as they're about midfield, the stupidity picks up right where it's left off. So Kliff is known for these, vintage horizontal bubble screens, right? But this one should have been killed before the snap. And if this is such an integral part of your offense, you need to have a better understanding of when these things are going to work. Just look at this pre-snap. The Rams have 4 defenders to 2 blockers. This was never going to work. This was all coaching. You can say Kyler needs to check this, but that is something that this staff needs to coach into Kyler and coach into this scheme. And it seems right now that style of change at the line of scrimmage is just not something that's available to Kyler at this point in time. And then on the very next play, 2nd and long, because of the stupid play calling, you get a soft and stupid and scared Cardinals who dial up a conservative screen call that is completely botched and then intercepted. Now, Kyler deserves some criticism for this. He was getting blasted for this on social media. He made it tough on the back to catch this ball by rushing this throw under pressure on this screen, but I don't really put this all on him. For one, it's just shit luck that it was even deflected and then intercepted, but I think there is a general lack of awareness on this play by everyone involved. However you want to assign blame here, surely it's just bad luck over everything else, and unfortunately this play also summarizes the night for the Cardinals at this point. But hold on, it keeps going. On the very next drive, the Cardinals come out with an illegal formation penalty. They motion the receiver, end up with 3 players lined up at the line of scrimmage, and are backed up then inside their own 5-yard line yet again. On 2nd down, the stupidity continues. The Cardinals' O-line, whose blitz pickup is just miserable. They let the edge come unblocked. Meanwhile, Kyler Murray is late in his blitz replacement, forcing him to make a bad read on the backside. Quick game concept, just all across the board. A lack of awareness, more stupidity across the board. And just in general, bad preparation, to me, comes back to the coaching staff. But by the time the Cards get the ball next, the Rams had just opened up the second half with a 5-minute touchdown drive. They make it 28-0. And Kyler actually did some nice stuff in the second half, if I'm being completely honest. Got rid of the ball better, was pushing the ball downfield better to all 3 levels. It was just simply too little too late, though. And if the defense again came out stronger in the second half, perhaps we have a slightly different lens on this game. But let's face it, the Rams' first 3 drives in the second half, they all ate up at least 4 minutes, and they ended up with 2 field goals and a touchdown on those 3 drives. So even if the Cardinals' offense woke up a little bit, it was just too late. There's no way around it. The Cardinals, as a team, played this game soft, stupid, and scared. And there's plenty of blame to go around here. Kyler did not play well in this game. This was easily his worst game of the season. His PFF grading profile agrees. But some of the reactions I've seen from this game and what people are saying about his future outlook are just obscene. He came out and was late on a few reads early on. It certainly shouldn't have been as harmful as they ended up being if the other players around him stepped up. And his pick 6 Carson Wentz impression was just an inexcusable play. But the reality is, this was a poorly coached team on Monday night. Piss poor coaching. A team that made countless stupid mistakes, compiled by a complete and utter lack of physicality and toughness. To me, that reflects back on the coaching staff. What's truly concerning here is that these were the exact concerns we all had when the Cardinals hired Kliff Kingsbury out of the soft-as-butter Big 12, where he couldn't even build a winning program. And after 3 years in the NFL, even after signing badasses in the trenches like J.J. Watt and Rodney Hudson, this team is just squishy and stupid. I hate to be the guy that calls for a man's job, but in my opinion, this was an inexcusable game. And the signs that this was a possible outcome were very much in the clouds after how their season ended this year and last year. And I just think it's very reasonable to ask if Kliff Kingsbury is the right guy to take Kyler Murray and this Cardinals team to the promised land. So definitely let me know in the comments down below, should the Cardinals move on from Kliff Kingsbury? Am I not assigning enough blame to Kyler Murray? Definitely let me know down below. If you enjoy my film content, I do encourage you to check out my Patreon. It's patreon.com/ThatFranchiseGuy. You'll get film breakdowns, you'll get draft analysis, exclusive content there, and you'll support my channel in the process. I really appreciate you. If you're not interested in that, please do hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe so you hang around for more NFL content heading your way. And until then, thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Peace out.